Why are so many software projects failing? You may have noticed that quite a lot of software projects fail to actually reach their goals. They either don't provide the value that was intended to be delivered, or they are way out of budget, way out of time, or fail to deliver solid quality. So there's many reasons for this, and there's no single golden answer on how to fix this issue in software development projects. But today I want to give you one common reason that can be a massive problem when you're not aware of it. So last time we talked about the most important thing in software engineering, and that is, in my opinion, to actually understand what needs to be built, to be aware of what the customer needs. Now we assume that you have understand that, and but you're not going to fall into this trap. But the other thing that usually happens is that developers are not aware of the inherent trade-offs in software development. Now, what do I mean with trade-offs? Let me illustrate this again with a little story, and please be a bit patient here with me. We will get to the point once I illustrated the story. So let's imagine you are a developer like me and you're spending a lot of time in front of the computer. So you probably know that you need to take care of your body to stay healthy, and so one day you decide to actually do more physical exercise. So you decide to buy a bicycle, and you're pretty excited about the idea, and you browse several online shops for nice bicycles. And as an IT worker, you finally find a site that you like, and it has this cool wizard where you can set some configuration values to actually get your ideal configured bike. Now this wizard asks you a few things, and you enter your size and your weight, and then you are asked to actually rate a few criteria to determine your ideal bike. So the first one is speed. How fast do you want to ride your bike? Then transportability. So how heavy or how light is your bike allowed to be? Does it need to be foldable so you can actually put it in a small car or take it with you in a train? Then there's pedal support. So do you want to ride by muscle only or get supported by an electric engine? Then there is distance and altitude. Maybe you're living higher up on a mountain, or maybe in a valley and you need to frequently climb up. Then storage space. Maybe you want to carry a large laptop, or you have any additional bags that you need to carry around on this bike. And finally, there's accessories like lights, bells, helmet, seats, and so on. Now you're really excited about all these options, and of course you want a really, really good bike, so you decide to max out all the criteria. Speed is good. Who knows, maybe once you're fit you want to participate in a local race someday. Transportable is also important. You might want to take your bike with you in the car or in the train. It should be very light, so you can actually carry it over a staircase. You're not living on the ground floor. And of course, electric pedal support, it's very important these days, and it can compensate for you starting to get back into shape. So it should have a really strong engine, and of course you need a large battery to actually have enough power that you can reach your destination fast, even when there's some altitude to climb. Sometimes you want to carry a few bags around. Maybe you want to go on a picnic with your family and friends. And of course you need a comfortable seat, you need good lights, a bell that is loud enough to actually make those nasty car drivers aware of you, because you don't want to get hit by a car driver who doesn't see you. right? So it needs to be a really loud bell. You click on the next button and you see a summary of your ideal bike. There's a lot of features. You got tons of gears. The frame is completely foldable. You have the best electric pedal support on the market, huge battery, many other extras, and of course the price is very high and it's much more than you originally wanted to spend. But you're so excited about the idea, and after all, your health is very valuable to you. So it should be a good investment for many years to come, and you decide to order it full of anticipation. Now, as it turns out, delivery of your bike takes way longer than expected. You contact customer support multiple times and they tell you about some special parts of your bike not being available on store. They need to wait for the supplier and they kindly ask you to be patient. Finally, 2 months later, your bike finally arrives. It has a massive engine and a large battery, and you're happy that you can now drive long distances really fast and without much effort if you want. However, you try to carry it and you feel that it's really, really heavy. You will probably not be able to carry it over a staircase, and even when you fold it and you lift it into your car, it's a job for 2 people, basically. Again, you call customer support and you complain about the weight. I mean, you paid premium prices and they got you a monster bike instead of a light one. Customer support says they built you the lightest bike they could under your given requirements. The strong engine and the battery account already for more than half of the total weight. Of course, you're irritated, but you go back to riding your bike. A few months later, you're on a trip and your gear shift starts working. It's no longer functioning properly. So now you have basically a broken bike and you bring it to a mechanic to get it fixed. At least you say to yourself, you don't need to pay for the repair yourself because you're still in the warranty period. But the mechanic tells you he cannot fix it. The gear shift is a very special model that is tightly coupled with the electric engine and therefore needs to be fixed by the manufacturer. Now you're getting pretty angry, and again you call customer support and they tell you to prepare the bike for them picking it up for repair. Great, you think. Now it will take another few weeks until you have your bike back and until you can ride it again. Now, why do I tell this story? Thanks for sticking out with me here. And it's actually to make a point about what went wrong here and what is also going wrong in many software projects. So the bike manufacturer in this case did a really bad job in advising you, and the manufacturer failed to actually communicate trade-offs to you. What could the bike shop have done differently to actually get a better experience for you as a customer? Number one, they could have communicated clearly that certain features and options will require longer delivery times. They could even have said that it's possibly unknown how long it will take when maybe the special gear shift needs to be imported from a distant country and delivery times are currently unknown. They could have shown you which items are in store and which are currently unavailable. And some shops even do that in a good way. So what else could they have improved? They could detect and explain conflicts to you. They could have said, hey, we saw you picked a strong engine plus battery, but you have light transportation expectations. You're expecting it to being easy to carry around, but that's a conflict in expectations. So they could have asked you to decide between one of these options and prioritize what is more important to you. The lightness aspect for carrying around and transportation, or the strong engine and battery, which is quite heavy. Then it would be transparent for you and you could have decided deliberately. And third and last point is they could have indicated to you the long-term implications for maintenance. So they could have said, hey, this gear shift is highly advanced, but it can only be repaired by us. And if you want something simpler that can be repaired in your local neighborhood, in a local store, they could have offered you an alternative, more common system as a choice. Again, it would be transparent for you. You could have made a deliberate choice and likely you would have been much happier with your purchase. And similar dynamics can be observed in software development every day. And results tend to be poor when there's no awareness about the need for trade-offs and priorities. Sometimes the customer or the client doesn't know it any better and thinks he can have it all. And here's some common aspects to consider in your software projects that are in a conflict sometimes and which are connected to each other. Number one is the feature aspect. So how many features does your software have? And how big and complex is the scope of these features? Then, of course, there's quality. So a lot of quality measures like testing, reviewing, auditing, and so on, they cost a significant amount of time, effort, and money. Then there's the cost itself. How much budget are you willing to spend? Then there's delivery speed. Of course, the bigger the project, the more features, the higher the quality, the slower tends to be the delivery speed. There's also performance and resource usage. That is a factor that is often in conflict. And of course, there's security. So in case you have insecure software, which is available on the internet, you have a high risk of maybe having a data breach, and then it becomes a lot of financial and reputation damage. So all these dimensions, they are connected to each other. You have to imagine a line between them. And when you pull at one of those, another one moves. Probably multiple of them also move. So they are connected and they can lead to conflicts. So the key is to find appropriate trade-offs and find out together with the client which parts are very important, which is the most important thing, and which are less important, or where can you maybe be a little more relaxed. And that is one of the most important skills of an experienced software engineer, to find suitable trade-offs for a project. Because if you fail to do so, if you're completely unaware of these things, it will lead to massive problems. You will have huge delivery delays, costs will explode, you will have expensive bugs or security breaches, and a loss of trust with your company, client, user, whoever pays for your service, because they won't get their expectations fulfilled. So that was it about prioritizing and finding suitable trade-offs. Now, what has been your experience with these things? Have you ever thought about them? Have you a lot of experience with them? Is there anything that you would add to the list of factors? Tell me in the comments.